The rain hammered against the windows of Kiven's repair shop, a small establishment wedged between a noodle bar and a defunct hollow theater in the lower districts of New Cascade City. The sign outside flickered intermittently. Kiven's tech repairs, no job too small, no tech too old. It was past closing time, but Kiven was still hunched over a disassembled communication device, his tools spread across the workbench like surgical instruments. He didn't hear the door chime at first, lost in the delicate work of rewiring a quantum processor. It was only when a shadow fell across his workspace that he looked up, startled. Standing in the doorway was a girl who couldn't have been more than 16 standard years old, but she wasn't entirely human. Scales the color of amethyst ran along her cheekbones and down her neck, disappearing beneath her rain-soaked jacket. Small horns, no larger than his thumb, protruded from her forehead and her eyes, brilliant gold with vertical pupils, fixed on him with an intensity that made him set down his tools. "We're closed," Kiven said, not unkindly. He'd seen enough hybrids in the lower districts to know better than to stare. "Please," the girl said, her voice carrying a slight harmonic quality as if two voices spoke in unison. Papa said humans could fix anything. He said to find a human if I ever needed help." Kiven noticed she was cradling something against her chest, wrapped in what looked like an expensive silk cloth. Water dripped from her clothes, forming a small puddle on his floor. "Your papa said that." Kiven stood, grabbing a towel from a nearby shelf. "Here, you're soaking wet. Come in, sit down." The girl, Anna, she introduced herself as, took the towel but remained standing. Carefully, reverently, she unwrapped the bundle she carried. Inside was a robot, no larger than a house cat, shaped like a dragon. Its scales were crafted from some kind of adaptive metal that shifted colors even in its dormant state. The craftsmanship was extraordinary, far beyond anything Kiven had seen in his 10 years as a repair technician. "Papa made this for me," Anna said, her voice cracking. Before he went away. It's been with me for 8 years. It's my only friend, but yesterday it just stopped. I don't know what's wrong. The dragon doctors can't fix it. They only know biological systems, and the tech shops in the upper districts," she looked down, "they won't serve my kind." Kiven felt a familiar anger kindle in his chest. The upper districts and their prejudices. He'd left that world behind years ago, preferring the honest poverty of the lower levels to the glittering bigotry above. "Let me take a look," he said, gesturing to his workbench. "No promises, but I'll do my best." Anna's eyes brightened with hope as she carefully placed the robot dragon on the cleared space. Kiven pulled his magnification visor down and began his examination. The first thing he noticed was that this wasn't just a robot. It was a masterpiece of hybrid technology. Dragon bioengineering merged seamlessly with human quantum computing. The power source was unlike anything in his textbooks. A miniature fusion core wrapped in what appeared to be a crystallized dragon heartstring, pulsing with residual energy even in its dormant state. "Your papa, was he a dragon?" Kiven asked, not looking up from his work. "Yes, Dr. Thuron Ashscale. He was one of the first dragons to believe in cooperation with humans after the Unity Accords. He worked with human engineers, sharing knowledge." Anna's voice was thick with pride and grief. "Mama was human. She died when I was little. Papa raised me alone, taught me that both parts of me were valuable, that humans and dragons together could create miracles." Kiven carefully opened the robot's chest cavity. Inside, the components were labeled in 2 languages, standard human and dragon script. His translator implant struggled with the latter, but he could make out enough. "What was your papa's last gift?" he asked softly, beginning to understand the true nature of what lay before him. Anna was quiet for a long moment. "He was dying, dragon-human genetic hybrids. We live longer than humans but shorter than pure dragons. But Papa was old even by dragon standards. He knew he was leaving me alone. So he built Ember, that's the robot's name, to protect me, to teach me, to be my companion when he couldn't be there anymore." Kivin found the problem. A microfracture in the fusion containment field, likely caused by age and continuous operation. But it wasn't a simple fix. The components required were rare, expensive, and specifically calibrated to dragon-human hybrid tech. He'd need parts he didn't have, couldn't afford, and couldn't easily acquire. He should have told her that. Should have been honest about the impossibility of the repair. But when he looked up and saw Anna's golden eyes watching him with desperate hope, he thought about what her papa had said, that humans could fix anything. Maybe it was time to prove him right. "I can fix this," Kivin said, "but I need to be creative. Some of these parts don't exist in standard markets anymore. I'll need to fabricate replacements." "I have money," Anna said quickly, reaching for a pouch at her belt. "Keep it," Kivin interrupted. "Your papa believed in cooperation between our peoples. Consider this my contribution to his vision." Over the next 3 days, Kivin worked harder than he'd ever worked in his life. He called in favors from old colleagues, scoured scrap yards for compatible components, and spent sleepless nights adapting human technology to interface with dragon bioengineering. Anna stayed with him, sleeping on a cot in the back room, helping where she could. During breaks, she told him stories about her papa, how he'd been one of the chief architects of the Unity Accords, how he'd faced death threats from extremists on both sides, how he'd never wavered in his belief that their species could coexist and thrive together. "He used to say that humans had something dragons lacked," Anna said one night, watching Kivin work. "Adaptability. Dragons are powerful, ancient, wise, but humans, you improvise. You take broken things and make them work in ways they were never meant to. You see possibilities where others see only limitations." Kivin smiled grimly, currently attempting to jerry-rig a stabilizer from parts scavenged from 3 different devices. "Your papa was generous in his assessment." "No," Anna said firmly. "He was right, I see it now. I brought Ember to 20 shops before I found you. Dragon shops, human shops, hybrid shops. They all said the same thing, impossible to fix, too old, too complex, too hybrid. But you didn't say that, you said you'd be creative." On the 4th day, just as dawn light was beginning to filter through the shop's grimy windows, Kivin made the final connection. He'd rebuilt nearly half of Ember's internal systems using adapted human components, created a new containment field from scratch, and even improved some of the original designs with modern innovations. "Anna," he called softly. She was dozing in a chair, exhausted from nights of anxious waiting. She jerked awake. "Is it?" Kivin pressed the activation sequence. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happened. Then Ember's eyes, brilliant blue like captured lightning, flickered to life. The little dragon stretched, scales rippling with color, and let out a melodious chime that filled the shop with warmth. "Anna," the robot said, its voice exactly matching the harmonic quality of the girl's own. "I apologize for my malfunction. Systems are now optimal." Then it paused, scanning. External repairs detected, non-original components integrated. Query: who performed this maintenance? Anna was crying, clutching Ember to her chest. "A friend, Ember, a human friend, like Papa always said we'd find." The robot dragon turned its glowing eyes to Kivin. Human designation, Kivin, accessing legacy protocols from creator Thuron Ashscale. A pause. Message retrieved, playing now. A hologram projected from Ember's eyes, showing a dragon in humanoid form, massive, majestic, with scales the same shade as Anna's. His voice was deep and warm. "If you are seeing this, it means my Ember has failed, and Anna has found someone skilled and kind enough to repair what I could not maintain. Human friend, you have my eternal gratitude. I built Ember with a hope that it would last until Anna was grown, until she found her place in this world we built together, dragons and humans. But I also knew that nothing lasts forever without care, without cooperation, without the willingness of good people to help one another across the boundaries we artificially create." The holographic dragon smiled. You have proven what I always believed, that our species together can overcome any challenge. Please accept my thanks and know that you have honored the dream I gave my life to achieve. The hologram faded. Kevin found his own eyes stinging. Papa programmed that message years ago, Anna whispered, just in case. He always planned ahead. Ember nuzzled against Anna's cheek, then flew to Kevin's shoulder, surprisingly light despite its metallic construction. New designation recorded, Kevin friend. Secondary function activated, Ambassador protocol, initiating recommendation sequence. Ambassador protocol, Kevin asked. Anna smiled through her tears. Papa designed Ember to learn, to grow, to make connections. If Ember deems someone worthy, it can recommend them to the Unity Council. There are grants, programs for people who exemplify cross-species cooperation. I don't need, Kevin started. The upper district shops wouldn't serve me, Anna interrupted. But they'll have to now, because Ember's recommendation carries my papa's legacy, and more than that, you'll have me as a customer, as a friend, as someone who will tell everyone that humans can fix anything, just like Papa said. 3 months later, Kevin's shop had relocated to a better neighborhood, still accessible to the lower districts but with better equipment, better lighting, and a new sign. Kevin's cross-species tech repairs human ingenuity for all. Anna visited every week, sometimes with Ember, sometimes with other hybrids who'd heard the story of the human who'd repaired the irreparable. Kevin's customer base grew, dragons seeking human adaptability, humans seeking dragon wisdom, and hybrids seeking someone who saw them as whole rather than divided. On the anniversary of the repair, Anna brought a gift, a small hologram of her papa, permanently programmed to sit on Kevin's workbench. So he can watch you work, she said, so he can see his dream continuing. Kevin activated it. The dragon's image smiled warmly, and in that smile, Kevin saw the future Dr. Thuron Ashskill had died believing in, a future where a dragon girl and a human technician could be friends, where broken things could be mended, where cooperation triumphed over division. Thank you, Anna, Kevin said, for trusting a human to fix your papa's last gift. Thank you, Anna replied, Ember chiming in harmony from her shoulder, for proving he was right to tell me you could. Outside, New Cascade City continued its chaotic dance of life, but in that small shop, a dragon's dream lived on, one repair at a time. And